mayoral election, the local government elections, freely and fairly, so why complain? So I think what we should understand very clearly, local government election is not a game changer. Secondly, in the local government election, the mayor resigns. The man in charge resigns. So you contest a person. You don't contest a man. In the national election, the Prime Minister, as the Awami League is now proposing, with the Sheikh Hasina in the chair, holding the national election. In Bangladesh, you don't fight a Prime Minister. I'm sorry to say this. This is the whole idea of the caretaker government came about because you don't fight the Prime Minister, you don't fight the ruling party in the election. The local government election, mayor resigned, and you're just contesting another person, not the mayor. So there's a big difference between the mayoral election and the national election. And with the Prime Minister there, in all the elections that had held in Bangladesh under the party, none of those elections got any reputation, any credibility. And none of them did their full term. Only the ones held under the caretaker government did their full term and they got their acceptance. We have to understand this. Saber also talked about the process. The process that the caretaker government came earlier on was decided outside Parliament because it was not discussed inside the Parliament. It was Awami League who fought tooth and nail to have the caretaker government. They had 80 days of strikes and hartals, burned buses, killed people, and damaged the business of Bangladesh. And after that, we agreed to the caretaker government on a national consensus, on a political consensus. It did not come through parliamentary majority. It did not come through a court order. So it was a political consensus from the whole nation to save for the safety and security of the nation, to save democracy. So that nothing has changed since then. Things have worsened. I'll come to that. So talking about the caretaker government as a process, again, we have to sit in the dialogue. And I'm sorry to say this, as a matter of fact, we don't need a dialogue. It's a settled issue. It came about through the demand of our meeting. So there are hartals and strikes and all the sad political activities that we have seen from our meeting at the time in the opposition. So now, I think if it has to go ever, caretaker government, it has to go through a consensus, a political consensus again. No party unilaterally can decide to do away with the caretaker government. First of all, they don't have the mandate from people. They got the mandate to run the country. They don't have the mandate to do away with the caretaker government. So this is very, very important, your chair. You have to understand this. And they have done it unilaterally. The caretaker government that came through a political consensus was removed unilaterally, without any discussion. Now, let me come back to the process is not really a matter of discussion anymore because it's a settled matter and it has to be decided outside. And Parliament also only gives the seal of approval. Actually, in the plenary session of Parliament, you don't discuss it. It has to be decided outside. Parliament only gives the seal of approval. Now, Mr. Shwati Singapore gave a long description of minority, oppression, and pointed the finger at opposition. Let me give you some facts. And these facts are backed by NGOs, civil rights defenders, human rights defenders, and all the newspaper coverage. I'll give you some.
You have 15 seconds.
Oh, God. Awami League man, I'll just give you the headline. Awami League man occupied charge asset. Awami League man occupied charge asset worth 300 billion taka. Very sad. Buddhist temple vandalized by Awami League MP's son. Awami League leader occupies land belonging to Christian family in Pakistan. That's all. You want to
newspaper? Yes, we know that. We know that.
The paper coverage is all there, and civil rights defenders, human rights defenders reports are all there, nationally and internationally.
I think.
No, I'm finishing. On the minorities. So Sabir, because Sabir mentioned the seculars issue, because that needs to get addressed.
I'm afraid
I
you're
tell you-
running over your time.
If anything, look, I'm finishing. If anything, Mr. Agri, if anything, secularism is used by our military.
No, there is a division. Their lordships must go. We don't allow overrunning upstairs. And while they're going, I'm going to crack the whip. I'm assuming the chair. We are going to have to move on because the whole point is we want some discussion, not just speeches. So is anyone going to volunteer to not make it a speech but have a
And
contribution?
some promises.
Yeah, and some problems, because we will have a division, we may have several divisions, and you will then lose, you will lose everybody in the room. So if we're going to make this work,
But can I finish my
no.
closing remarks?
The chair has decided no. You've made some very powerful points, and I'm sure you want people to address them. And that's the point.
Very important.
We have,
Very good.
and if there's
No,
anybody
that's
feel,
the point of.
if there's anybody feel they don't need to speak, I have got.
Very
Can I
well.
just